Hi, Year 10. I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be looking at the surface area of a cylinder, exercise 402. And today I asked you to do questions 1 and question 3. Okay, with the surface area of a cylinder, we know that a cylinder here's a cylinder here. We know that a cylinder, if you open up, you'd have a rectangle and you'd have two circles. So a circle at the top, a circle at the bottom, and this part here, what we call the curved surface, if you open it up, you would have a rectangle. And today's lesson, we want to look at the surface area of a cylinder. So a cylinder has three surfaces. A circle at the top, a circle at the bottom, there, and a rectangle. We know that the area of any circle is pi r squared. So if there are two circles, then the area of the two circles is 2 pi r squared. And you can see in the formula that the first part there is 2 lots of pi r squared or 2 pi r squared. So two circles. The curved surface, if you open it up, is a rectangle. We know that this bit here, which we call the height, is the same as this length here. If you open up the rectangle, then this here is the height. However, this length is not so obvious. You can't see the length of this curved surface. If you open it up, if you think about it, the distance from there to there is the same as the circumference of the circle. So the length of that rectangle is the same as the circumference of a circle. And we know the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. So circumference is equal to 2 pi r, or circumference equals pi times diameter. But we use this formula here for this. So it's 2 pi r times the h. So 2 pi r times h, or 2 pi r h. In the formula, if I just make that a little bit bigger, in the formula, I hope you can read that nice and big, but in the formula, we've got two circles and the length times the height gives us the surface area. Okay, so let's have a go at some of these questions. You can have a look at some of these examples that show the radius and the height. There's a working there. There's another one here where you've got the radius and the height. So the key things are you need the height and you need the radius to find the surface area. So let's have a go at doing some of these. They also show you how to do half a cylinder. Okay, and they've got some working there for that. So you might want to look at that, question 3, at this example right here. But let's have a look at some of these questions. I'm not going to do all of them. In question 1, they're fairly repetitive. So let's have a look at question 1. So question 1 says, if I just make that a bit bigger, calculate to 2 decimal places the surface area of a cylinder with a radius of 3.4 and a height of 6. When you're doing these questions, make sure you've got the radius. So in question A, you've got the radius. Question B, they gave you the diameter, so you have to halve it. Question C, they gave you the diameter, you have to halve it. In question D, they gave you the radius, so you can leave it. So I'll do question A and B with you. Whenever you do these, you should write down the formula first. So circumference equals 2 lots of pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Write the formula out first each time you do this. So in question A, they've given us the radius is 3.4 and the height is 6. You might even want to write that on the side where r equals 3.4 and h equals 6. You want to make sure before you start that you're dealing in the same measurements as well. Meters and meters, that's fine. And they want the answer to 2 decimal places. Okay, so circumference equals 2 lots of pi times the radius squared. So 3.4 squared plus, we'll just rub this out, 2 lots of pi times the radius is 3.4 multiplied by the height is 6. So you should be able to multiply all that out. I'll just get my calculator. If you multiply that all out, I'll just do that on my calculator here now. Apologies. Sure this is still running. It is. If I do that on my calculator, which is not working, lovely. Another one. Okay, try it again. 2 times pi times 3.4 squared plus 2 times pi times 3.4 times 6. Hopefully I've done all this right. And I get 200.81, and I'll round that off to 200.81. Okay, so circumference equals 200.810, so I'll leave that as 81, and we're dealing in meters, so it's meters squared. So there's the first one done for you. I wrote out the formula, I put in the radius, I put in the height, I got an answer to 2 decimal places. I'm making sure that it's in meters and meters, the 2 measurements, which it is, so that's fine. So I'll do question B with you. Okay, so question B is going to be similar. Find the surface area if the diameter is 35 and the height is 15. So if the diameter is 35, therefore the radius must be 17.5. So the radius is 17.5 and the height is 15. And we're dealing in millimeters and millimeters. So remember, when we finish the question, we're dealing in millimeters squared. So circumference equals 2 times pi times 17.5 squared plus 2 times pi times 17.5 times 15. So if I quickly do that on the calculator, so bring that on calculator, put that on, 2 times pi times 17.5 squared plus 2 times pi times 17.5 times 15 gives me, in millimetres, a bigger answer, but 3573. Shouldn't be writing circumference here, I should be writing surface area. My apologies. Surface area, surface area. Surface area equals 3573.56 millimetres squared. Okay, so the surface area for the second one is that. You should be able to do questions C and D. Question C, remember to half the diameter, get 3.1. Question D, leave it the same. But they're all in the same measurements, so they're not too bad. So you can do C and D, round your answer to 2 decimal places. Of course, check your answers in the back. Okay, so let's see. I asked you to do some of question 3. Question 3, calculate the surface area of each solid correct to the nearest square metre. All lengths shown are in metres. Okay, so that's not too bad. Question A, I shouldn't have to do. They've given you the height. They've given you, I think it looks like the radius, if I look at that. So the radius is 7.2, the height's 15.1. I shouldn't need to do that one for you. It should be fairly straightforward. Question B, they've given you the diameter of 25, but the radius, which is what you want, will be 12.5. So the radius is 12.5 and the height, even though it's going this way, is 15. So R 12.5, H 15, put it in. Shouldn't need to do that one for you. Let's just have a look ahead. Question C, they've given you the radius of 0.37 and the height of 1.5. So you just plug those numbers in, R 0.37, H 1.5, you should be able to get the right answer there. So let's have a look at what the others would be like. I just move across the screen. Okay, so what's different about question D? Okay, getting a little bit harder. Calculate the surface area of each solid. Okay, question D is going to be a little bit harder because what you've got is half a cylinder and then you've got a base on that. So the way you do it is do the base at the end. We know the base is a rectangle of 29.3 times 16.2. So the final answer we get when we do the half a cylinder, we'll have to add on the rectangular base. But let's just do the half a cylinder. So the surface area is going to be half of, okay, so remembering our formula is pi r squared, so pi times the radius squared. Now this is going to be a pain, bit of work in this one, okay. So the radius is going to be half of 29.3, so 29.3 divided by 2 is 14.65. So half of 14.65 squared, pi r squared, plus 2 times pi times the radius times the height of 16.2. Okay, so that working there, half of the surface area of this cylinder, and then you'll have to add on the base of a rectangle. So onto that you'd have to add, let's put this in brackets, 29.3 multiplied by 16.2. So half of the surface area of the cylinder plus the area of the base, which is this times this, and hopefully that will give you the right answer in meters squared when you do that on the calculator. I won't do that now, but hopefully that gives you the right answer in the back. Okay, so let's see if question E is any harder than that. Okay, so I'll rub that off. In question E, you're asked to find, okay, half cylinder with open top. Okay, so what that means is, although it looks like we've got something on the top, we've got half a cylinder, but because it says open top, it means that this bit on here is open. We don't find the area of the top bit, okay? This bit says closed, this bit says open. So we just pretend that the top bit's not there. So for this question here, you're just finding the area of half a cylinder. The radius is 0.6, half of that, and the height is 2.85. So once again, forgetting about the top this time, the surface area is half a cylinder, half of pi r squared, pi times 0.6 squared, half of that, plus 2 pi r h, 2 times pi times 0.6 times 2.85. So that should give you the right answer for this. Remember, it's an open top, so we don't find that bit up there. Okay, put that in the calculator and give your answer to 2 decimal places, I think. Okay, question F, let's have a look. Just make sure this is still filming, which it is, so I'm coming towards the end. Okay, so just quickly, question F, same idea, half cylinder with open top on one end open. So what that means is you've got an open top, so you don't find the area of the top. I'll just do this one quickly because I'm running out of